Hello guys, welcome to my channel for a new battle report. As you can see at the moment I have quite a lot of time to play some games. I found another random game against Soruka, a nice guy from UK, thanks to him for the game, and was able to face his dwarven old army. I'm able as well to produce another battle report for you. Since I have an effective way to produce battle report, I'm able to produce them really quickly, which is a good thing because then I can basically give you an access to all my games, all my practice games. So I hope it's still interesting for you to follow my ogre list playing against various opponents. Okay, this game, this is his list. So basically blocks, 4 blocks, 2 blocks of shooters, 1 block of greebards, 1 block of Kingsguard with a flaming banner, 2 pieces of chaff, 2 war machines, 1 vengeance seeker, big kings with strength 6, 2 runic smiths giving a bit of magical support for combat, and then a tan BSB with 1 up rerollable and a lot of strength 4 hits basically. We played the Frontline Clash and King of the Hill. I chose for spell Hand of Events, Might the Unbeliever, Wrath of God, the Breath Weapon, Children of Umi, and on his side he had 2 runic smiths with 6 battle runes totally, plus the grudge on the general. Okay, matchup analysis. I feel quite good in this match because I have really a huge advantage in mobility, so I should be able to profit from this. My opponent could close a little bit the game by playing very defensively in the corner. We'll see in the deployment if he does so. If he does so, should be able to get the objective at least, and then it will be basically a bit of range damage and trying to be able to get combo charges, but will not be as easy as if it's an open game. I will be trying to push him, trying to start as well if possible, and then I think I will be able to at least draw the objective, because since I will be quite aggressive and be pushing him, I should be able to protect well my piece of terrain. It will be difficult for him to cross the board. And of course I will try to avoid a little bit the king and the king guard unit, because they have strength 6, a lot of bodies. Might be difficult with magical support to face them in good conditions, so I might try to avoid them the whole game. And of course, like always with my list, try to push at different points of his battle line, try to force him to take some choices in the chaff, with the position of his king and so on. Deployment, my opponent decided to drop everything to start the game, and to my surprise he decided to be quite on the starting line, so not so defensive at all. First of all, for objective I chose the king, and he was able to choose the forest as terrain, and I directly trapped it with my trappers. So from right to left, the cannon, the seeker greybard unit with runic smith, the king inside the king's guard with runic smith, crossbowman, the BSB, the two flying copter, and then the catapult here on the left. This idea with the copter was to avoid me being really close with the hunter, scouting hunter at the beginning of the game. And on my side, so the trappers are here forward, trapping the forest. Then here I have my general in his unit, some tribesmen unit, 2 rock, and the saber-tooth tiger, the 2 keen eater in ambush, the BSB, and hunter plus the giant are all covered from war machines. Basically, my thought process was the following. My general has a lookouter in his unit. 2 rock are able to take some wounds from long range, since I'm dividing the multiple wound. So I really try to protect all my 3 sensitive units to war machine, in order to basically give him a first turn which is not so interesting in terms of shooting with war machines. That was a little bit my idea. Okay, let's move on to turn 1 from Dwarvenhold. Turn 1, he decided to move forward with the copter and just rearrange a little bit his lines, and moved forward with the Vengeance Seeker. At the moment the king is here behind, so it would be dangerous for me to get this charge. Magic, he puts -1 to wound on the Seeker. I dispelled it. Then he puts revocation on this unit, okay, and -1 to wound as well, so it's casted. Shooting is able to put 3 wounds here, I guess, like 3 wounds here, 2 wounds here, and 4 wounds on the cat, but I still have the Lookout Sir, and with the cannon it's not able to hit any of my Rokorok. I was as well profiting from the forest, so he's not getting +1 for Gigantic, if I remember correctly. Okay, my turn 1, I move quite aggressively. Since there is the king over there, I'm just moving a bit back with general unit at the moment. I don't want to take too many risks on this side with the king being a bit too strong for my general. And here I'm moving quite a lot forward. The idea was I'm outside of the line of the king's guard with this Rokorok. I want to make him chaffing me quite early in the game. So the idea is to move forward with both Orok, but maybe the position of this Orc was a lot forward. My idea was to let him the charge, since I have a lot of strength 6 attack, has only strength 4, and then have a good counter charge with the hunter if needed to. That's a 7 on the dice for him, so we'll see if he takes it or not. And the rest, basically I move forward with everybody coming forward with giant as well, hunter, and some scoring unit as well. Magic. Casting Hand of Even, but he uses his Rune of Denial. Then I'm trying to cast the Wrath of God, of course, but he dispels it. And then shooting, I'm able to deal 1 wound with the Vengeance Seeker with my general. That's it. His turn 2. He's taking the charge, taking the bait with the BSB, and succeed in the 7 on 2 dice. Then he's moving a little bit around with the copter, but nothing too big, and just rearranging a bit the line with moving the king in this unit in order to be able to face the incoming threats. But he will be too far away to boost his BSB in combat. It could have maybe been another position, at least for the magic, to try to have the 12-inch. I think that was a small mistake, because it's a small something that he forgot during this turn of charges. That could have helped, because if he's able to put some battle runes to help him, that would have helped for this combat. Then let's move on to magic. He's able to put 2 runes of resilience on this block. The idea is to protect himself from a charge of the Rokorok. And then War Machines try to shoot me, but he tries to shoot this hunter who has no ward save, but he's not able to wound him. And then in combat, he does 1 wound to me, and with my 5 attack strength 6 and 3 attack strength 4 plus stomp, I do nothing. And he pursues me. I have 3 dice, he has 2 dice, and he catches me. So miss here. I lost an Orok, but I should be able to get the BSB with the counter charge of my own BSB. So not so bad at all, but still I think the position of my Orok turn 1 was a bit too risky. Turn 2 of the Ogre, I charge the Vengeance Seeker on the right. Since there is no king and there is quite a big distance over there, I should be able to take the Vengeance Seeker. Here I charge his BSB. And the rest, I tried 2 long charges. Still, I was able to chaff the king's unit with the king inside. I tried a 10 on the dice with the Rokorok against this scoring unit, which would have been quite interesting. And I tried as well an 11 on the dice with this hunter on the copter. The idea would have been to overrun in the flank of this scoring unit, and therefore to be locked in close combat and not get any damage from War Machines. Unfortunately for me, no ambushers comes on the board this turn, so I still have to wait to get some support against especially both War Machines, who might do some damage. As you can see here, I don't have a lot of remaining wounds to protect my general. Magic, I rolled a 444 on Children of Umi on the BSB. I want him to wound me on 6s, that should help. And I take 2 wounds back from the miscast, and then I'm able to cast Wrath of God. He used the runes that destroys the spell, but I'm able to cast it in this position more or less. Okay, here we do both 1 wound, and he sticks with 8 rerollable. Here I kill him and just reforms, but he does a couple of wounds to my dogs. and that's it. Turn 3, Dwarven. We are still a bit far away here for any charges. What he does, just chaffing this turn basically, putting the 2 copter to chaff. Here the hunter and here the rock. Here we're still in combat. Here I was able to rally them. They fled from the Orok dying on turn 1, on turn 2 from Dwarven. So I was able to rally them on last turn, and I should be able to get the counter charge if needed. And still for Dwarven, no big movement at this stage. With the Wrath of God over here, I should be able to do some wounds on these 3 units, which might be quite interesting for me, especially at this point of time, since I have no unit in this area. Magic phase. He's putting, first of all, Gleaming here. I let it off. Then he tries a Gleaming over here. I dispel it. And that's it for magic. Combat. Here lose by 1. I do 1 wound. I think he does no wound to me, and sticks on 8 rerollable again. And what else? I think that's all. Just thinking. Oh, here he charged my trappers. Sorry, he charged my trappers and overrun by 4 totally. I was just short of trapping this wall. I should have calculated a bit more the previous turn to be able to get the trap on this trend feature, which would have been really nice to do some damage. And as well on this turn, the Wrath of God came down and did a few wounds in this 3 unit, but nothing too big. My turn 3, as you can see, I lost a couple of wounds here, but nothing on my general at this moment. He was able to strike it with the catapult, but then not able to hit with the cannon, so that was good news for me. I took 2 charges, so here I failed Frenzy, I charge, he's able to stick on Terror check, then I take both charges against Chaff. I'm charging the flank of the BSB. I will be taking a challenge, so should be fine in this combat with charge and flank, getting +2 on combat resolution. Here I'm giving another chaff away. I mean, I have still a few pieces of chaff which I can give away if needed, so no stress at all. The only stressful situation, I really need to do like a 4-5 overrun on 3 dice to get as far away as possible from the King's Guard unit. And here I'm able to get in with both ambushes. So I'm putting the dogs +1 ambusher to be able to deal with the cannon. And here I'm putting 1 ambusher, seeing this unit plus my general on the flank. So I'm feeling really comfortable at this point because I've threat all over him, and here I was able to connect with a 9-inch on the charge with the giant, which is also a very positive news since I will be on the back of these 2 scoring units, so it's really positive at this moment. Magic, I'm doing a big hand of even on the cannon. I'm able to kill it, which is good because then I won't have to take a cannon shot on next turn. And I'm trying to put a breath on this Keen Eater, but was not able to cast it, or it was dispelled, sorry, from my opponent. Combat, I'm able to kill it, overrun quite far, kill it, reform. Here I'm able to do 1 wound, he does 1 wound in return, but he's able to stick on the 7 rerollable. And here I kill the cannon, I just pivot, and that's it. Turn 4 of Dwarven, so it charged the chaff piece. He doesn't move at all, trying to shoot my threat, and he just reforms himself to face the Keen Eater, but I will still be able to charge with my general, so should be fine. The Runic Smith moved out of the unit. And I guess that's it for movement. Magic is putting Gleaming on this unit, but I'm able to dispel it. -1 to wound, I dispel it as well. He's able to cast reroll to hit on this unit. And then he put as well here -1 to wound. And here a very strange combat with all this attack strength 4. Is able to kill me. I have 3 up armor save with AP1, so 3 up armor save, and then 5 up ward save, and I have in return 4 attack strength 7, and I'm able to kill him with my beast on agility 2, and he's able to kill me to do 2 wounds with his attack strength 4, so quite unlucky. I'm losing my BSB on this strange combat, but both BSB are dead, so I took also some point at this stage. And on my turn 4, that's going toward the end of the game because I charged with my hunter against the scoring unit. He fled. He had to take a panic. He fled without reroll, so he fled. And here I just went out of arc of this unit, taking no risk at all, basically just moving a bit my unit around. Here they are both fleeing, so I should be able to double charge them and get them. Moving my Orok as far away as possible to avoid him getting killed, and just moving my scoring unit around. And my opponent decided to concede at this point because there was no point continuing. I mean, I had still 3 scoring units who should be able to get the objective. Since we have two turns to play, I still have a lot of chaff at my disposal to stop them. So I think the situation is too difficult for him, and I should be able to take at least these 2 units, maybe the Greybeard, but there is no point at continuing this game at this point. Okay, let's analyze this. What happened during this game? First of all, War Machines rolled really poorly. I guess he was able to hit a little bit with the catapult, but nothing with the cannon, and that didn't help the Dwarven all general, I think. My left Orok, that was not a good placement. I should have been a couple of inches back, I would say 3 inch back, to give him a 10 plus or 10 on the charge. But that was a bit too close and a bit too risky and was not necessary. BSB duel challenge was really strange. Bit surprised to die against a model having only strength 4 AP1 attack. Although he has quite a lot of attacks, should still be able to survive, I guess, since I had Children of Umi for 1 round and he had no magic support at all. And I think a couple of mistakes on DH part. First of all, the distance to give a bit of magical support on this BSB going on his own. That was the first point. And then second, probably to deploy more compact in order to counter the ambushers, not allow me to threaten his flanks or his back. I have here a picture for you, as I like to do. I think a couple of changes in the deployment that I would suggest for DH, basically be much more compact. I think he has a dispel scroll, so to say, to avoid getting a Wrath of God on turn 1, and then he should be able to just make me march a little bit to come forward and then have good combo charges to get through. But I mean, with a very good defensive deployment, that would be much harder for me, and he should be able to get 6 or 7 points relatively safely, I guess. That's my opinion. With the deployment, I would have done this way at least until the ambushes comes out. I wouldn't have moved that much from his corner. And then a small correction on my part. I guess I could have put the giant just over here to be outside of the cannon but inside of the catapult, since a catapult shot is not that dangerous for the giant. I have still a lot of wounds, and that would have given me a free turn of movement, so to say, in comparison to what I did in this game. So I think I should just have placed the giant here to move a bit faster forward. Okay guys, that's all for this game. I hope you like it. As always, don't hesitate to put some comment below the video. I like it really much when I can talk a little bit about some aspect of the game I present. So thanks a lot, and see you soon on my channel. Bye.